All right, Jack.
How are you, Sensei?
Good to see you. I'm very good, thank you.
Excellent.
All is good.
Part 2.
Part 2.
Turn to fire the questions.
Yes, I'm looking forward to it. Abby
waiting.
had me last time, and now it's Jack.
Yeah. So, I'm going to start with referring to IMDb. I'm going to refer to IMDb a lot.
Okay.
Because it's got your background a lot. So,
right.
Training started in 1974 when you were 14.
Yes, with Butch.
Sankukai Karate.
Yes.
5 years later, black belt, going on to win championships, kata, sparring the kata division.
Yes.
5 years in a row.
Yes.
How do you think martial arts training has changed from back then to now?
You've still got some very, very hardcore gyms all around the world. Obviously, MMA is a massive thing now. Still very, very hardcore. Still some very traditional karate. I feel that a lot of stuff is softened somewhat, and some stuff is still as hardcore as ever. There were some very dangerous practices way back then where we did bunny hops up and down. I know people over the years got their knees destroyed. The training was very hardcore. It's changed in some respects for the better, some respects not for the better. But on the whole, I'll say this sort of blanket answer I always say when I ask this question, and that is you'll get what you want if you're looking for it. You've got to spend a bit of time and effort to look. If you want hardcore training, you can find it. If you want middle of the road training, you can find it. And if you want soft, gentle, I'll just train, I barely break a sweat, you'll get that as well.
Yeah.
But it's changed considerably. There's still some phenomenal people up and around this country. I remember years ago, the big thing was when I was training along the side of the likes of Rick Young, Bobby Breen, Gary Derrick, Gordon McAdam, etc. There's always this big thing, let's go and train in Thailand, let's go and train in the US of A, let's go and train in different parts of the world. And I would say, hang on guys, there's some phenomenal people in this country, and in Europe indeed. So yeah, it's changed considerably, but we've still got some fantastic ideals going on, some fantastic training methods. So even if you came into martial arts now, you're still getting superb training as long as you travel and check and make sure you're looking for a good academy or a good place to train in a sports hall or whatever. Just have the patience to shop around.
Yeah. And going back to your training, obviously there's been a lot because you haven't just stuck to one martial art. You've gone and travelled and you have done those things and you've experienced loads of different styles and been under different people.
True.
But going all the way back to the beginning.
Yeah.
If you could go back now as you and speak to your 14-year-old self in that first lesson and give him some advice, what would it be?
Oh my God, that's so simple. I would say do exactly the same as you've done all your life. Go and seek out the best instructors in what you want. Have some incredible experiences, and great people will turn up on your doorstep or be in that dojo where you train in London with Bobby Breen, Finsbury. If you're going to America with Guru Dan, if you train in Rio with Mauricio, people will be there. Or like all that old sentence, you know, when where the student is ready, the teacher will appear. And that's very, very true. So I would change absolutely nothing. Nothing whatsoever.
No, it's nice, isn't it? Not looking back with regrets.
Oh, God, no regrets whatsoever. I always remember when I was about 13, 14, I was in Kidderminster and I was feeling a bit down. I got that, you know, years ago, shops weren't open on a Sunday. I was in the middle of Kidderminster. I was walking along feeling sorry for myself. I've got school tomorrow. And I was feeling a bit depressed. I hate that word, and I've never been depressed ever since. And I was depressed at that point. And just as I was coming up this hill, this guy had long walking stick like apparatus, and he was struggling. His knees were all crippled up and bent, and I thought, oh, you know, I'll cross the road, I'm a bit shy, blah blah blah. And as he was coming down, I was just feeling sorry for myself, and he looked over and he shouted, all right mate. And I thought, wow. I said, all right mate, everything all right? And that was that little tiny interaction. From that moment on, I have never forgotten that, ever. I always think about him every few months, and I thought, that guy has got such a lot going on in his life. He can't walk like I can walk and maybe do the things I can do and fight and train. But look at his attitude. He was in a great place. And I thought, what am I doing? So it lifted me, and I've never looked back.